Hi everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. There's a subject that has lived in the back of my mind for a long time. For years, I wasn't sure how to name it, but tonight, I think I'm ready to try. I'm calling this one The Thing in the Room. Before I proceed, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a place where something was clearly present, but no one said its name? Let me take you somewhere for a moment. It's morning. The house is quiet but peaceful. You walk into the living room and you can tell something happened last night without anyone saying a word. A glass is shattered near the couch. A chair is slightly out of place. Something that normally sits on a table is missing. And the silence in the room feels trained, like everyone already knows the rules. No one explains, no one asks. People just start moving around the wreckage, acting normal, because normal is what you do when you don't know how to stop the cycle. That's what addiction does. It doesn't just live in a person, it lives in the air. It changes the temperature of a home before the person even walks through the door. Now let me take you to a completely different place. A parking lot outside a grocery store. A woman sits in her car for a moment longer than she needs to. She looks at her reflection in the mirror, fixes her face, swallows whatever is rising in her throat. Then she opens the door like nothing is wrong. Because that's also what addiction does. Sometimes it's not loud, it's not spectacle. It's a private ritual people repeat because they don't know how else to get through the day. Now, another scene, a family gathering. People are laughing, food is passing around, kids are running in and out. And then, someone steps outside for air, quote unquote. Then they come back 5 minutes later, different. Not different enough for strangers to notice, but different enough for the people who have lived with this pattern to stiffen slightly. They don't say, "Here we go again." They just adjust. They lower their voices. They avoid certain topics. They start managing the atmosphere. Because when addiction is in a family, everyone becomes a weather app. Everyone is scanning, anticipating, adjusting. I know that world. Now let me take you into my personal story. There were nights in my own childhood where the fear wasn't screaming, it was waiting. I didn't always talk about what was happening. I didn't need to. I just developed a silent language. Sometimes I would sit in my room, close the door quietly, and just listen, waiting. And in that waiting, I learned something terrible. Addiction doesn't just threaten the person drinking. It teaches the whole house to brace. It teaches children to become small. It teaches everyone to live like peace is fragile. But here is the part I need to say carefully, because I think people get this wrong. When someone is addicted, it's easy to make them the villain. But I learned, painfully, that it's not that simple. Sometimes the person under addiction is not a monster. Sometimes they are a person unraveling. a soul trapped in patterns they can't break. And what complicates everything is this: you may still see flashes of tenderness, moments of softness, moments that remind you there's a real person in there. And those moments confuse the story, because people are not made of one story. So what do you do with something like that? Especially when it has gone deep. Especially when it feels generational. Especially when you've prayed and it still feels like the same chain. I want to say this plainly. Freedom from addiction is not a simple decision. It is not just choose differently. Some of these chains don't break by human willpower. They break by grace, by the Spirit of Christ entering what has been dominating a life and changing what no one could change by force. There were nights in my story where I genuinely believe we made it through only because Christ held the line when we could not. And that is why I wrote my memoir. Not to expose people, not to make anyone look evil, but to tell the truth about what addiction does to a person, to a family, to a home, to the nervous system, to the next generation. And also to tell the truth about what Christ can do. That mercy can hold what feels unholdable. That cycles can be interrupted. That a story does not have to end where it started. If you have ever lived with addiction, whether in your own body or in your own house, please hear me. You're not crazy for feeling how heavy it is. And you're not weak because it's hard. Some battles are spiritual. Some are deeply rooted. And some freedom comes only when grace enters the room. Thank you very much.